Welcome back to the Broncast, podcast all about the Ford Bronco. I'm your host, John Melton.
I'm Donnie Whiteman.
We are a couple Bronco enthusiasts who own Broncos, work on Broncos, and just love talking about the Ford Bronco from Generation 1 all the way through Generation 6. Our sponsor for today's episode is Tom's Off-Road. Tom's Off-Road has every part that you need to fully restore your first-gen Bronco and a whole heck of a lot of parts to work on your 6th-gen Bronco.
Or add nice accessories.
Or add some nice accessories.
That you didn't get for Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope you enjoyed your Christmas opening presents and looking forward to the new year.
Yeah, I want to talk about wrapping up 2024 since this is our final episode.
Yeah.
And maybe 2025. Yeah, and just some of our favorite things from last year.
These are a few of my favorite things. My favorite thing is getting sick from being home with my kids, because obviously I've got something going on here. And, it goes around. When you got 3 kids, they're 13, 11, and 9, you get colds.
You get everything.
You get everything. I really do. Like, man.
The gift that keeps on giving.
It is.
The cold.
Like, I travel a lot for work, and a lot of times I'm like, I'll be traveling and my wife's like, the kids are sick again. And I'm like, oh, darn, sorry. I won't be home for a few days. Like, hopefully it works its way out. But I've been home for Christmas, and so now I get sick. Hopefully everyone, you got all your tools that you wanted for Christmas. I got a Milwaukee right angle ratcheting wrench, like the one that you put a socket on, and it's like you can fit it
to
in
the water pump
places.
pulley,
yeah,
and all that fancy stuff.
I know.
Yeah, nice.
It was my present to myself that I gave to my wife to give to me. Bought it at Home Depot for the Black Friday sale.
I bought car parts.
Yeah,
if you can imagine that.
I can.
I bought another EFI. You can't have too many of those.
You can't. You always need another EFI.
That's right.
I have one sitting in my foyer of my house.
Enough with fooling with carburetors.
Yeah, seriously.
It's like one and done.
Someone keeps asking us for an EFI update on my Edelbrock ProFlow. I love it still. I daily drive my Bronco. It runs great. I haven't had to touch it. Like, I haven't done anything to the Edelbrock ProFlow, and I've had it for, I feel like it's almost 3 years now. Like, I need to go back and look when I actually installed it, but it's been great unit, great EFI, highly recommend.
I drove a wagon that had an Edelbrock crate motor that came with a transmission and the ProFlow X already on it. Like, the whole thing. It was like, I guess Chevy would have called it a connecting cruise, but this is like the whole thing, but it was all Edelbrock, 430 horse.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's a neat deal. And, it starts up it's EFI. Hey, did you see these things?
Oh, yes.
I meant to show these to you. So we had a listener come by. With this summer, we had several people come by, but this fall, this guy, I believe from Wisconsin, I wasn't here, and he made these leather Bronco coasters for us.
That's super cool.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, indeed.
Tell us your name. My useful assistant here didn't get any information.
Not me. I'm not his assistant.
Oh, no,
but and I'm not useful.
The other one.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't know who gave these to us, so if it was you, leave a little note in the comments and let us know, or shoot us an email at questions@thebroncast. What is it? What's our email? questions@thebroncast.
You used to spell it out.
Wait, questions@thebroncast.com. We'll get it one of these days.
QUE
STIONS at THEBRONCAST.
You used to do that all the time.
I did it every episode. I'd spell it out.
Hey, something I wanted to mention was someone sent me, about 5 people sent me that Thomas Rhett is giving away his 1973 Boxwood Green Bronco.
I saw that.
Yeah, and you can just go online and Google Thomas Rhett's giving his Bronco away, and it will come up.
There it
just
is.
like that.
Yep.
And it's really cool. So it's for I think Feed America. Is the
Donnie, Broncos don't feed America.
This one's going to feed America. It's pretty cool. So anyway, you can register to win. They're just doing it now.
That's cool.
I don't know when it ends. I didn't look, but I'm definitely going to sign up for it.
He said he had a 6-inch lift and 35-inch tires. It didn't look like a 6-inch lift.
No, maybe he's counting the tires, a total of 6 inches. Maybe 2 in the tires, 4 in the lift. Who knows?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Because okay. But it didn't look that big. Like,
it was cool though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, a 5-inch lift on a Bronco is massive.
It looked like it had 35s on it.
It did look like 35s, but it looked like maybe a 3.5-inch lift, but probably a 2.5. Like, it looked like mine.
Yeah.
And I have a 2.5-inch lift and 1-inch body lift. But yeah, anyway, we digress.
Sweet Bronco.
Boxwood green. Who made it? Highland Classics?
Highline
Highline Classics.
That's who built it. So what's anything else happening?
Yeah. So I've actually been working on my restoration project.
Nice.
I know. And it has been months. You guys know I make videos on my YouTube channel, Nashville Early Bronco, where I'm working on my projects, working on the green one, working on the restoration. And I was looking, and the last time I recorded anything was in March.
Oh, wow.
So it's been 9 months where I haven't touched a Bronco. Got an engine and like going to, actually start putting stuff together and actually working on it. So yeah.
So your painter still wants it to be running to drive it?
Yep. But what we're gonna do is spray the engine bay just in the shop and get that done. And then Raptor line the inside.
Yeah.
Get that done and then start putting stuff on, and then we will spray the Bronco. So
yeah, I like that you showed, what video was it you were showing the undercoating? It was part of a bigger video. Which one was that?
One of the restoration videos, and I undercoated it here at the shop.
Yeah.
Just right in there.
So aren't you creating a full video?
So I've been doing update videos as I've gone along, but I've actually like time-lapsed all of the work that I've been doing. So it's pretty cool because it it's sped up of me building the entire thing. So it'll be cool when it's done. I'm hoping that, it turns out well.
You're like Flash Gordon building your Bronco.
Yeah.
This wheel, that wheel, this
I
wheel,
mean,
that
it's
wheel.
just like stuff
Suspension,
goes
front
on.
axle, rear axle. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I can't wait to see it. So you'll complete that whole thing. And it'll be a build video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it'll probably only be, 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, that'll be neat.
But it'll be cool to see, like, it starts with me pulling it out of the field and then, putting it all together. So
do you think the body's still laying there in the woods?
Oh, I'm sure it is.
We need to go back and take a picture of it.
We should.
Is that close?
Covered in kudzu. It's down in Georgia somewhere.
Well, if it's in kudzu, it's still there. Nobody will see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually going to finish a lot of things from last year. So I had like 170 things I had committed to this time last year.
170.
And I'm down to like 38.
Oh,
so
nice.
And they're big things now. I'm down to the big stuff, and one of them is the Boxwood Green Bronco here for a customer. So I'm going to work really hard on that the rest of this year and see if I can't get that thing delivered.
Let's reminisce on the 2024 year in review. What's a favorite moment? Doesn't have to be Bronco related, but it could be. Favorite moment of the year?
Probably at Supercell East when we were driving people's Broncos, like driving Teddy Stegger's 66, early 66 Bronco.
Yeah.
That was really special. I thought I knew how to drive a 3 on the tree, but apparently these 66 transmissions are a little tricky.
For me, it was probably actually going to Super Celebration West, which I went with Bronco Nation only for 2 days. I was up there. It was a really quick trip. I had shoots bookending each of those days, but man, it is beautiful up there. Like Super Celebration West is it's in Buena Vista, Colorado. If you've never been, it's totally different than Super Celebration East. Like no one hangs out in the field. No one, like, it's not like a show and shine kind of event where you're just like sitting around like Supercell East is, but the views are just spectacular. The trails that you go on are incredible. Everyone goes on the trails, and there's easy, moderate, and more difficult trails. So you can kind of take your pick, but it was a fun trip for sure. I went out on the Alpine Pass and it was almost 8 hours. We were out on the trail,
wow.
But it was great. Like you're just hanging out with Bronco people. You're cruising around, and Bronco Nation drives. Like when they go on a drive, they give everyone a radio. So like the entire time you're talking to everyone, which I love that too. You know, it's just like people are commenting on stuff, and, you know, like we had a couple Raptors out on the trail and they'd be like, this is a little tight. We just hit our mirror, you know, like because the Raptor is just so wide.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, that was a really fun moment that I enjoyed this year. Would you say Super Celebration was also your favorite podcast episode of 2024?
Probably, yeah, that was absolutely top 2. Yeah, that would be my favorite episode for 2 reasons. Because we drove Broncos and there were 1,200 Broncos there. I'm sure there's going to be more this next year, but we also did trivia. And when we were doing trivia there,
right,
I didn't like losing to you for a couple reasons. One was the pink hoodie I had to wear that was too small as my prize, but must have had like 70 or 80 people participating in that trivia.
Yep.
And that was just so cool because we had all the Broncos around us. But
didn't it rain? Like, wasn't it raining and we had to push back?
It was overcast. Yeah, it was. It was pretty overcast. But still, imagine if everyone had showed up. Most people, even though they had really nice Broncos, they still brought them.
Supercell is, I know I talked about West, but East is a really fun event. I look forward to it every year. I look forward to going and seeing all my Bronco friends and, you know, just catching up with people, and it is a great time. I think one of my favorite episodes was actually one of the first episodes we did of the year. I got to drive your Bronco and a Raptor and another manual transmission Bronco.
A 19-speed or whatever it was.
Yeah, gosh. But like that was such a fun episode because it was just driving Broncos, you know, and like that's one of the things that I love doing.
And you punched them all.
So here we are. We're getting on the freeway, and I'm just going to floor it. Oh my gosh!
I about lost my glasses.
2.3
little turbo.
Just going to go from second. Definitely not nearly the kick in the pants that yours had.
I hope I don't want one after we accelerate. Oh, wow. That's insane.
Wow.
That sounds like a GT40. Did you hear that?
That was great. Yeah.
Which was awesome.
Right.
It was like
in one day we got all 3. Yeah. So it was great. That was great. That was a really fun episode, and I enjoyed that one.
I probably my other favorite episode is the one that we just released, which is how to buy a good Bronco, because
that was fun.
We've been around these for so long, and I don't know how many you've taken apart too, but you know, we're always taking these rusty bodies off, and we're able to show, because we had this horrific truck here.
Yeah.
We were able to show all the rust spots.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be pretty handy.
And there was rust in every spot. It was very apropos.
Well, you got all in there. You probably still have rust coming out of you.
Yeah, I
like
did.
Sand from the beach.
I put my feet through the Fred Flintstone, the interior there.
You made it look like a pedal car.
Yeah. It was pretty great. Favorite Bronco part that you got this year or installed? Or
I have 2.
All right.
I have 2 of everything.
Okay. All right.
So the amp steps, you know, we built the white Panama truck, and I, put 300 and some miles on it. And every time you open the door, people go, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, where'd that come from? You know, they completely hide away and tuck. They're like landing gear on an airplane. And, but they're at the perfect height.
Yep.
And they're lit. And they're just that. I mean,
they are lit.
Super. They're lit. I was not lit. The steps were lit. And so I really love those things. They're not inexpensive, but they work really well. And, they're just there when you need them.
Yeah.
So, and then the other thing is another feature that's I'd say so user-friendly and important are the Hellwig sway bars, specifically the front one. If you don't want to spend the money to get the front and rear, just put the front one on. But every truck we drive with the Hellwig front sway bars, it's like, wow, it eliminates so much body roll.
It makes such a difference. I know we've talked about that. It's way too much, but that is probably one of my favorite parts this year. The other one is the Tom's signature seats. I mean, just like, talk about such a change in driving your Bronco. And for me, I drive it daily, and it's like, man, such a difference driving it with those seats.
Well, the dark brown, the walnut, I think that's what they call it, looks so good in your dark green truck.
It does. It really, like, everyone now looks at my truck and they're like, oh man, this thing's nice. And I'm like, can you not see the rust holes in they
just see the seats,
rocker panels? Yeah. Like, I mean, the hood is completely brown, but you're like, ooh, look at those seats. That's a nice truck.
The hood matches the seats.
That is very true.
Brown suede.
Yeah. It's brown suede hood and matches the seats. What about favorite tool?
This is going to sound silly. I have two.
Naturally.
My favorite tool, you buy at O'Reilly's, and they're called step bits.
Oh,
and you get a pack of 3.
The little Christmas tree looking one?
Yeah. And they're like, some are skinny and some are fat.
Oh, yeah.
And I use those to install the roll cages.
Uh-huh.
You know, I don't know how many, you probably did a dozen cages this year.
Yeah.
Next year, we'll probably do twice as many, but it makes it so fast, and the holes line up perfectly, and the bolts just drop in. And if the bolt's it's a little tight, you just let it hit the next step, boom. And I mean, it saves hours. And they're like $29 for a pack of 3 at O'Reilly's.
Yeah.
So
that's great. Yeah. I have a few of those laying around in my garage too. I would probably say mine, I just talked about it, is the right angle ratcheting wrench or what is it? Ratcheting wrench? Yeah. Socket wrench.
Well, is it electric or pneumatic? Is it
electric?
Oh,
Milwaukee.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Is that the red? That's the red stuff.
The red stuff, the good stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that thing it's awesome. It's an M12, so it's not as, like, the battery's not as big as the M18, but yeah, I've already used it and I'm like, I love this. Like, it has quickly become like my go-to, because I used to.
Are you wearing it now?
Yeah, I actually have it. No, but as opposed to carrying around a big drill, like you have that thing and it's lighter, fits in tight spaces, and I really.
That's all. It's got a little tiny battery.
Yeah. I mean, that thing is it's small, but it only has, I think it's 35 foot-pounds of torque. Like, nothing crazy, but for the most part, like, I'll get the bolt snug and then throw on a breaker bar and tighten it down. But if you can't get in a tight space, that thing is so nice. Like, trying to remove the fan bolts, that is a great, demonstration of where that thing's so nice, because you just.
But you have the other one. You have the regular drill too.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I got like 3 of those. And
I'll get you one of those those Howdy Doody belts, and you can just be ready. Be ready to go.
Yep. It actually came with what is it called? Like the hammer drill. What's that called? Impact driver.
Yeah.
It came with an impact driver as well. And so now I have another impact driver. So I've got, the big dog, the M18 fuel one that is like, can do 2,000 foot-pounds of torque. Like, it's just ridiculous. And then, I have 3 others now. So
my other favorite tool is red also, and it's the Coates lift.
Oh yeah.
I've been doing so much exhaust work, and it's so nice. I mean, it used to be the what's the rolly cart?
The creeper.
The creeper. And now it's like, I don't need a creeper.
Yeah.
I got the lift. It's just been great. So,
man, if you guys haven't put a lift in your garage, you're probably a normal person, honestly. But It's so nice.
We were normal once.
We were normal once.
Yeah.
I don't have one in my garage. I have one at the shop that I could use.
We're going to use the fire out of that next year.
I thought you were going to say another F word. We are.
We're fire out of it for next year. Yep. And I'm super pumped about that.
Yep. It's going to be good. So moving into 2025. Wait, first, we need to hear from you guys. Leave it in the comments. Do you have a favorite part or a favorite tool or a favorite moment with us? That would be interesting to hear if you guys had a favorite moment with us where you were watching and you actually laughed or like enjoyed a moment.
That's right.
Because we enjoy all of our moments.
Yeah, the best part of the podcast is actually doing the podcast.
Moving into the new year, what is going to be your focus in 2025? You said you got down to 38 things.
Yes.
Give me some of those 38.
Well, the boxwood green Bronco.
Yeah.
It's almost done. So
finishing that.
Yeah. And, I think we're going to have 5 or 6 builds at Supercell. We're even going to take the ones that are part way, and we're going to have 5 or 6 builds that we built the bodies for, and they finished their trucks, and everybody's getting them ready for Supercell. So displaying at Supercell is going to be pretty exciting. So we're working really hard towards that.
Oh, so like some of your clients that you built the body for, you'll have those on display. At Supercell. That's super cool. That's a great idea.
Tennessee Bronco Club display.
Okay.
And they're going to have like 100 trucks this year.
Whoa. So if you're in Tennessee and you are not yet signed up for Super Celebration, I don't even know if it's open. So you might not be signed up because I'm probably not either. But you should. You should sign up.
I think that field will hold 2,000 Broncos.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Because you can go all the way back up on the hill.
Yep. And they have bathrooms now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good year.
They're supposed to have a stage.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like a big stage. No, I'm going to do a podcast episode on the stage.
I'm going to have you sing.
Yeah. How
about you? I know together we're going to be doing some really cool stuff for 2025, but what specifically are you going to focus on?
I mean, my serious goal is to try to get my restoration done. I'm pretty sure I said that last year, that I wanted to get the restoration.
So you're talking about the Dennis Carpenter body.
Yep.
And do you have a year affiliated with that?
74.
74? Okay.
So my green driver is a 75 and the restoration's a 74.
And the restoration's boxwood.
Yep. And then
what's
the other one's
name of
green.
your color?
It is dark jade poly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's what's on the VIN tag at least. So it's actually more rust, but you know.
Yeah. And my really big things that I'm going to talk about the most on the podcast and show specifically, it's my 69 Baja long travel that I'm building. And then the SEMA truck.
Wait, you got to talk about what does a 69 Baja long travel mean?
I can't talk about it yet.
Oh, geez.
But it will be at Supercell.
Okay.
And
done?
I didn't say done.
Oh, okay. It'll just be there.
It'll just be there. Remember, it was there last year.
Oh, this is the blue.
The Bronchosaurus.
Oh, yeah. That people kept coming up to me and going, is this thing for sale or what are you doing? And I'm like,
are you recycling that?
I don't know. Donnie thought he could bring it. It was literally a body that sat on the trailer next to our booth. Like,
on a paint cart on the trailer.
Yeah. It was just like sitting there and people are like, what is this thing?
Yeah.
That's what's coming.
I took it to Supercell last year so people could see it.
Yeah.
And we're going to put that body on this long travel crazy build. So, but it's going to be a Baja theme, like a vintage Baja theme.
Oh, cool.
And then the other truck is the SEMA truck, which is in the video that we just talked about.
Oh, yeah.
How to buy a good Bronco.
Yeah.
That horrific thing is going to be the SEMA truck.
Cool.
That 74 April title will be at SEMA next year.
Nice. So those are your 2 projects that
That's enough. Yeah.
That's our goal, is to kind of shift things a little bit and focus more on our restorations and talking about restorations, keeping you guys up to date on what we're doing and doing all that fun stuff. So if you want to see more of the restorations, give us a little thumbs up and we'll make it happen.
And we have plans of sharing all of the good and the bad that happens during the year and how our builds go and what we have to fix. And so it'll be like following the build. And
follow the build.
We're going to push the builds.
Yep.
And get them done.
Yeah.
That's our resolution.
Is there any parts that are coming out or that you haven't yet installed that you're excited for in 2025?
We just started installing Sniper 2s, and those are amazing. And they now offer a Bluetooth where you can use your phone and you can have like a little instrument gauge.
Oh, cool.
So the bigger the phone, the better
the
the gauge.
Edelbrock already had that, but yeah, go ahead.
the controller, but it'll be Bluetooth. So, but no, we're doing a ton of those. We'll probably do 2 a month next year.
What's the, I've installed a couple of Snipers. What's the difference? Or what's the main difference between the 1 and the 2?
Well, they reconfigured things, so the ECU is on the side.
Oh, good.
So it kind of looks like a double pumper now. So like an old bigger carburetor. The wiring's there's way less wiring. It's easier to install.
Really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
So the biggest features are there's almost half the connectors.
Okay, but it's still throttle body injection.
Yep.
So it's just the throttle body.
Yep.
And then ECU still in the unit, like it's not off to the side or anything like that.
No, it's on the side of the throttle body.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget where it was before. Was it just
it was in the front.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It faced the front of the truck.
Yep.
And
that was why, I know with Phytech and Sniper, you had to use a shielded spark plug wire or spark plug wire, because sometimes there'd be interference or stuff like that. So that kind of takes care of those issues.
All of the EFI systems now recommend a different wire. You don't want to use your old wires.
Right. Yeah.
So that's
Yep.
Yeah, shielding is important with EFI.
Yeah.
So for sure.
Yep.
But
well, even the Edelbrock, they say use a shielded spark plug wire. And their ECU is you can put it anywhere.
Right.
So it's completely disconnected from the throttle body, but the Edelbrock is port injection, whereas the Sniper is throttle body injection.
With the Edelbrock, you get an intake.
Yes.
With the
what I like about the Sniper is it is truly a throttle body replacement. So you pull your carburetor off and you put the EFI throttle body on there.
Yeah.
And I like that because the Edelbrock it's an intake, it's port injection, it's distributor, it's throttle body, all of it. But I mean, if you got to do all that stuff, it's a good option as well.
They're trying to make it easier to install.
Yeah.
And you do still need to take the intake off if you don't have enough ports in the intake to put specifically your temp sensor, because the EFI systems give you so much more information, but they're also more sensitive to that information. So your exhaust can't leak, your intake can't leak.
Yeah.
You got to get good readings. So you still take the intake off and put it back on. Sometimes you drill into it, sometimes you don't. Depends on how new it is. If it's vintage, you don't really want to drill into cast iron, so you usually upgrade.
Yeah. One of my buddies, Brad Hudson, he's installing his painless wiring harness, and he was like, I don't have enough money to buy the EFI unit right now. So can I just put the carburetor on and still run the painless wiring harness? And I was like, oh yeah, absolutely. But you'll just, and I gave him a couple of things that I was like, you'll need to make sure your fuel pump power wire runs along your frame so that you can cut into that to put the fuel pump or, whatever you're doing with the fuel pump and a couple other things. But yeah, it's really not that complex to install, but you're right. I always tell people, EFI is going to magnify any problems that your engine has.
It's going to point them out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really looking forward to running my engine per your recommendation. I've been looking for an engine and trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my restoration. I was going to have my stock engine rebuilt, and one of the cylinders was completely shot, rust in the cylinder wall. So then I looked at another engine, and like at one point I had like 3 engines lying around, all in different forms of being inspected. And then we had a podcast episode where you were like, oh yeah, like it, I paid $6,000 to get my engine rebuilt or whatever it was, like, and I was like,
I totaled it up, all the machining for the block and the heads and the crankshaft. I'm like, holy crap, I didn't save any money. It would have been cheaper to buy a blueprint.
Yeah. Yeah. And so then you were like, go to Summit and look up ATK. So I went to Summit, looked up ATK, and yeah, there it was. I mean, they had blocks for like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. So what I ended up buying was a 302. It wasn't for a Bronco, but it had a roller cam, and instead of flat tappet. There are some things that I got to change on it, but I ordered it December 2nd, and it got to my house December 11th. So it was like
a week
basically, where Blueprint, I was looking at that and they were like, yep, it'll be about 3 to 6 months, and I'm like, geez. And there was no guarantee on the, just like the long block without valve covers and intake. And cause I'm running the Edelbrock ProFlow, so I don't need an intake. I don't need, even with the ATK. So I ended up buying mine for $4,000, came with valve covers, oil pan, and intake and distributor. I know I'm going to take all that stuff off because I'm going to put Bronco valve covers on. I'm going to put the Edelbrock on, and then I have to change the oil pump and the pickup for the Bronco because it's rear sump versus front sump or whatever it is. But I was like, but still, it's $2,000 cheaper than the Blueprint, and it has a 3-year warranty, 3-year 30,000 mile warranty or something like that.
So I had the same thing happen. I couldn't wait any longer.
Yeah.
I've got several trucks that need to leave. They're waiting on engines, and I've got 2. One of them, they said, 2 to 3 weeks, the machine shop. Well, it was 3 months. And then the crankshaft wasn't done. And it took 3 more weeks to get my crankshaft. And that's just how backed up they are.
Yeah.
All of them. I don't care if you're in Atlanta or New York or Nashville. It's the same situation. So, actually, a buddy of mine, Pat, said, look at this engine, and you can just put all your peripheral stuff on it. So I bought an old school flat tappet with just some like hydraulic rollers.
Yeah.
And it was $29.95, and it came in a crate. A week later, it was on the doorstep. Wasn't even back in town from when I ordered it, and it's already put together with Tom's exhaust manifolds. I painted it blue, put it all together, and I just couldn't believe how much quicker, the things together and the amount of time I spent on the phone.
Oh man,
pestering these other people, and 3-year warranty.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yep. Yeah, so that's something I'm excited for in 2025 is hearing it purr for the first time. So I'm hoping that that's here shortly.
But at that $29.95, there's a $700 core charge, and they say return your engine in the crate. So you pull the oil pan off, you leave the heads on, and you pull the valve covers off, and you put it back in the black plastic clamshell. And they send you paperwork, and they pick it up within a week.
Wow!
And then you get your $700. So I'm actually $22.95 on that engine.
Oh wow!
Free freight.
Mine, they added that in, so mine was more like $4,500.
Yeah,
but still.
So the green Bronco, the How to Buy a Good Bronco.
Yeah.
So I pulled the engine out of that, and that was my core.
Oh, nice! That's a great idea.
I needed a core because I didn't actually have one.
Yeah.
And it literally, I think within a half a day, core was on its way back. Yeah. So I can't say enough about Summit Racing and that engine program.
Yeah. Super cool. Okay. One of the other things that I'm excited for parts wise in 2025, we showed it when I went to Tom's Off-Road in Medford. They had their whole like 4-link kit set up.
Oh yeah.
And with, Himes and like the whole thing. I'm super excited. I don't know when that's coming out. They've teased us forever now.
Yeah.
It's been a few months, but I'm really excited for when that comes out because that will be definitely going on the green truck.
So, John, what are you most excited about for the Broncast for next year, 2025?
I'm excited to focus more on our builds. We've talked about like what are we doing with the podcast? We've done the history. We've done the I feel like because we're going into year 3 of recording a podcast. And I feel like we've covered a lot of stuff that Bronco people would like to know. So if you're wondering about the history of the Bronco, go back and listen to
episode 1.
Because we went through it like year by year. But I feel like what we're passionate about and what we enjoy is working on stuff and just kind of talking about what we're working on. Whether that's what people want to hear or not, we'll see. But that's what I want to talk about.
Oh, I think you're so passionate about it. I think people want to, share their passion, and that's what we want to do. And we kind of want to get back to that on the podcast. And building Broncos is our passion.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's just share that.
Exactly. Yeah. What are you excited about?
All the new stuff, all the new parts, all the stuff that's coming out.
Yeah.
And all the stuff I haven't bought yet. But just making these old trucks ride like new cars, that I'm probably more fired up about that than anything.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they need to go any faster. I just feel like they could ride better.
Yeah.
So that's my personal focus for 2025. But
nice.
And then, of course, maybe getting 1 or 2 trucks to SEMA. That's a dream.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
And so we've started on that. So hopefully I can stay on track and get that done. So
that'd be cool. Now, are you going to go anywhere in 2025?
Yeah. I'm going to go to Moab.
Are you?
I'm going to get that done. For sure. I'm going to do the rodeo in Moab. And then, of course, I'd like to go with you and do the Bronco rodeo they opened up in Tennessee this year.
Yeah.
So both of those are on my bucket list.
Yep. Very cool. Like super cool experiences. If you own a new Bronco and you haven't done the off rodeo, it's so worth it. And like I definitely wouldn't say they are highly difficult trails, but they are highly fun. And I think that's, it's not just so easy that you get bored. Like they are fun trails. And the Tennessee one is way more like Tennessee wheeling, where it's just muddy and slick. And you just slide around. And but yeah, that one was fun. I went out there for a little bit.
My other bucket list thing I'm doing in 2025 in February, going up to Autorama, and we're going to spend an extra day and a half and do the Ford Museum. And
what's Autorama?
It's a car show that's been around in Detroit, a hot rod show since before SEMA, even before like the 50s.
Really?
And they give awards out, like the Grade 8 awards are given there. And they pick the top 8 builders. Sometimes people spend 8 years on these builds, and they're, you don't have to spend $1 million like at SEMA. It's about the craft.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
Yeah, and I see stuff. It's like, oh, that'd be cool on a Bronco,
Yeah.
Some of it
cool.
doesn't make sense, but I'm super pumped about going to the Ford Museum because I heard they've got like a full-size steam engine in there, and he has bought like Einstein's house and other people's houses, inventors, and moved them into the museum and made a little village, and they drive you around in a Model A.
Wow.
Made this little town with all these like famous little houses.
That's cool. When I went up there for Woodward, I went to the Paquette plant, which was the very first Ford plant. I think it was the first one.
In Paquette, Michigan?
In Paquette, Michigan. I mean, it's not a very big warehouse surrounded by apartment buildings now, but they've preserved it. And they had in there.
Is that where they had the first assembly line?
I think so.
Yeah.
Like I'm forgetting all my history about it, but like you go floor by floor and it's like they just have rows and rows of, Model A through Model T.
Oh, I'm going to do that.
And all of everything in between. And then we took a tour of the Ford their house. So it was actually their like manor or residence or whatever it was. And it was really interesting. Nothing car wise in there. Like, so that there wasn't anything in there that was automobile specific, but it was cool just taking a tour of, you know, this classic home that had a lot of history, and yeah, it was cool.
So I'll add that. So I'll be in Detroit an extra 2 days.
Hey, there you go.
Got to add the Paquette plant now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how about you, bucket list?
I would like to go back to Super Celebration West. We should go. We should just put it on the calendar and like try to go out there. Cause that's one of those that I love to go to. Obviously I'll be going to Supercell East, in Townsend. I'll hit Moab a couple times. I mean, my bucket list honestly is taking my green Bronco and driving it out to Moab, wheeling in Moab, and then driving it home.
If we go to Supercell West, I think we should go outside Denver and buy a Bronco and see if we can get it running.
Cool.
Like the crappiest one we can find. See if we can get it running and then drive it the 2.5 hours from Denver or whatever it is to Supercell. And if we have to leave it there, we leave it there.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Like, I mean, we could get a Gen 4, 4th gen. We have our posters from Georgia Broncos of all of our gens. We could get a 4th gen.
I guess we could do full size. Yeah. I would love to wheel a stock Bronco though.
Oh yeah, that'd be super cool.
I mean, to me,
that would just be, I mean, you paid $7,500 for that one. I don't know that we've got buckets of cash to go just leave a Bronco in Denver.
No, but we could maybe have like a $5,000 budget.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that will look like. It won't have any floors.
We're not getting 1st gen, 2nd gen, or 3rd gen.
So it's going to be Gen 4?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah. For $5,000? Yeah.
Can we take the roof off?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's commit to it.
We'll just get a tire sponsor, and so we'll have new wheels and tires. Yeah. That'd be cool.
We'll be like Courtney. We'll just do it.
We'll just do it.
She just does it. We'll just do it.
Let's go. Find one. If you have a Bronco outside of the Denver area that you want us to pick up in September for under $5,000, you got it. It just has to be a Bronco.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Bronco 2? No, probably not a Bronco 2.
Donnie. Oh, man.
Have I taught you nothing?
Have we learned nothing? Well, cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you for such a great year. Obviously, we'd love to hear from you. Leave it in the comments. Shoot us an email. Let us know what you're looking forward to in 2025 and what some of your favorites of 2024 were. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.